Too smart for your own good. Today on the Dailyish Show.
Five, four, three, two, one, zero, ignition, liftoff.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dailyish Show. This is a show that is for rental housing providers and other people, business owners and other people who are looking to have more time wealth on your calendar. Welcome to the Dailyish Show. My name is Mark Dolfini, your host and coach. It's good to see you today. Hope you had a good weekend. Too smart for your own good. Do you maybe you heard that when you were back as a teenager? I know that's something I heard an awful lot. I was too smart for my own good, especially as a teenager. But back when I got first started in business, though, obviously this is a business show, and people who maybe want to get into business, they think that it's important for them to be as smart as possible, and really the only smart people get by, and get high levels of success. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't need to be that smart because I'm living proof. But while I'm no idiot, I'm also no Rhodes Scholar, and I think that it's important that you get that limiting belief out of your head. Because back when I first started and when I first got out of the Marine Corps, I really wanted high levels of financial success. I mean, it was something I felt like that was going to give me the freedom that I wanted. And that was what was needed, right? To that having all this money and having these all this real estate and stocks and all the things, all the wealth that was going to give me the time freedom, the lifestyle that I actually wanted. Well, the problem was I really didn't have any idea on how any of that was going to happen. Like, you kind of see all the rich people out there, people who are making tons of money. Back in the day, Donald Trump, he was in the news for real estate, and he was in the news for casinos. He was not in the news for anything political, for sure. But I really had no idea how I was going to achieve high levels of success. People were out there that were investing in stocks. I know there was different movies out there that were certainly portraying that side of the financial sector. Alan Greenspan was on every 15 minutes talking about how the irrational exuberance that was going on. It was just hard to ignore what was going on in the stock market at that point in time. But also, I was very interested in real estate. I had an interest in real estate for quite a while. I thought that owning and acquiring wealth through real estate made a lot of sense. So it seemed like everybody that was making money was either like ridiculously smart or somehow had lots of insider information or somehow knew more than I knew. They were just super knowledgeable. So my idea, I was like, well, I'm here at Purdue. I'm going to be going to school, and my plan. So I just started reading lots of books. I mean, that was something that they always talked about in the Marine Corps, was making sure you stay up with current events. You knew what was going on. I mean, lots of times if you were going up in front of a promotions board, they would ask you what was on the cover of the New York Times that morning, what was on the cover of the USA Today that morning, just so you were still in tune with current events. So I read a lot. I read lots of different books. I read lots of different books, not just, of course, what was being assigned to me in class at university, when I was at Purdue, but also different other books about real estate investing and investing in stocks and, trading and all sorts of different stuff. In fact, I still have many of those books. So it was interesting. Not only that, but I was reading the Wall Street Journal. I subscribed to Investors Business Daily. I mean, I was getting all this stuff. And then this is all stuff the internet was definitely around, but it was a lot of this stuff was still being where, you were getting Wall Street Journal delivered, the Internet Investors Business Daily was being delivered daily, right? All this stuff was, piling up in my living room, and I was doing my very best to keep up with it. And, all the while I was still in college, right? And I was working a full-time job. So I had a ton of information coming at me. It was it was just overwhelming. It was absolutely overwhelming, to the point where, I'm sitting in my apartment one day. I'm looking around at the, 50 or so newspapers that are still in their package that I still haven't even unrolled. And I'm thinking at some point, lying to myself, think I'm actually going to get time to read all these things, or at least just open them and flip through them, right? Become familiar with them. It was just a huge and complete, total, just a mess. I was just lying to myself. So the reality finally hit me that there was no way that I could keep up with the volume of information. Unless, yeah, I mean, I could attach a supercomputer to my head, and there was still no way I was going to keep up with the volume of information. And keep in mind too that the cell phones back then were not what they're like now. But you could still get feeds coming in. In fact, they even had cell phone like devices that would connect you to the trading platforms and things like that. They were proprietary to for, like, was Ameritrade, or I think prior to Ameritrade, I can't remember what it was called. It might have been called, I don't remember what it was called actually, but it was something else other than Ameritrade. But they had all these different trading platforms, which they had their own little computer that you could do trades on and that sort of thing before you could do it all on your phone. They had all that stuff, and where you could get news information and all this other thing, all these other things. But there was no way I could learn, not only keep up with the information, but learn it all on my own. So it was really interesting that, how, when you get to excess, how you have that ability to learn some humility. And even though I was, out there doing the hustle and, doing real estate deals, by that, several years into my college career, I had gotten, half a dozen rental properties or so. And then by the time I graduated, I had a dozen or so rental properties in my portfolio. But I was doing that. I was day trading. I was, doing some flips. I mean, I was insanely busy, and I was doing none of it very well. So that has a way of humbling you. And what I realized was I needed help. And if whatever it was, first of all, I needed to focus on one area, not chase so many rabbits. Because when you end up chasing more than one rabbit, you end up catching neither, and or none of them if you're chasing two or three or five rabbits like I was. So, I mean, what I had to recognize is I had so many different businesses going on. Obviously, I was in college. I had a work schedule. I had a real estate acquisitions business. I had a rental business. I had a trading platform that I was trying to do. I mean, it was insane. So I ended up doing none of it very, very well. So once I learned to focus on one thing, which I did not do until long, long, much, much later. But once I started to focus, then things definitely started to change for me. But one of the other things that really also helped me change, and this was not the case right away, but a coach also definitely helped me. Getting me somebody on board that helped me. And again, this isn't a pitch for me to be your coach. I'm just saying that it really makes a difference. That yes, you can learn a lot of the stuff on your own. And there's a guy I talked to just recently who wants to grind it out and learn on his own. I respect that, man. I totally do. But if you want to do it quicker, I would really recommend getting a mentor or somebody who's been down that road before, specifically a coach who's going to hold you accountable to what specifically it is you're wanting to do, and get that person on board, get them into your circle as soon as possible. Because number one, there's no way that you can know it all. There isn't. There's just way too much information out there. And there's also so much misleading information out there. And also, the other thing that I didn't even recognize is I was wandering into territory where I didn't even recognize the risks. I didn't even understand how much risk I was taking on by buying properties with no money down, and not having enough money in the bank. And also using that money I did have in my bank to trade. It was a complete mess. So that's why I think too that once I started understanding that I didn't have to know it all, and that I could humble myself a little bit, that I could really have used the benefits of a coach to help me stay out of dark waters. That's for sure. So I was definitely too smart for my own good. So that is all I have for today, everybody. If you'd like to reach out, hit me up at landlordcoach.com/connect. And that's all I have. So I will see you guys next time. Please be sure to place a value on your free time, because if you don't, someone else will. Most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have a great day. See you guys next time.